Good evening, folks. And welcome. So, apologies. Tonight I'm a little more rushed, just behind with everything than expected, so I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do with the hat in time and get that taken care of, so I am going to instead do Hellmod Steel Soul. And, no wait, not Hellmod Steel Soul. I'm practicing for Hellmod Steel Soul. Sorry about that. I've done a Hellmod run before, but I do want to try and do some more practice because I do want to try and get a Steel Soul run done. But it really, with Steel Soul, I want to do it in one sit-in so that I don't have to break it up. I also need to put the sound effects back on in just a moment. So, what changes in Hellmod? There's quite a few things that I will mention in just a moment. Let's see which thing. As this is going to be very spooky, I figure Halloween night will do well. Okay, so first things, your nail does half damage. So you have the unfortunate thing that you do 2 damage with nail swings at the start of the game. You take double damage. You then... Oh, well, thank you. Good sir. You also generate half as much soul as before. As you can see, I have almost no soul, and you can only have 1/3 of your bar active at once, like with the soul binding. Also, if you try to heal, it takes as long as if you had deep focus. So, any mistake you make is going to be very much multiplied. So you have to make sure that you play very cautiously. Oh, hey, Chia. So, I think I saw that he was doing a no upgrades run and so forth. Did he finish it? Oh yeah, spells have a slight nerf as well. Yeah. The thing is, supposedly it also says that nail upgrades are removed, but they actually still work. So you kind of want to upgrade your nail as fast as possible. Although you're going to get a max damage of 10 damage with the pure nail. Oh hey Ari. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, this is in the Discord. It's on the mod installer that if you want to do Hellmod, you're good to try it. The Halloween skin, however, is not on the public one for custom night. Also, Zote can't be neglected, so he shows up in Dirtmouth right away. Oh hey, Tintin. Oh cool, congratulations, Ari. And welcome, Clary. Welcome as well, Luna and Coden Hammer. So the big thing as well is that because your nail is so weak, everything is going to take forever to kill. You generally want to try and use spells where possible, but because it takes six swings to get a spell, that also doesn't work so well. Oh, congratulations on Pantheon 3, Digitab. See, that only took 5 hits, instead of the usual 3. So this tends to be pretty painful, especially at the beginning. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll have DLC that'll have a sort of boss rush to it. But at the moment, I don't think that the base game of Silksong is likely to have a boss rush. Well, defeating Zote in the Colosseum is one of the hardest accomplishments in the game. Sometimes it's better to run by stuff, but at the same time, because everything takes so long to die, running by things is not always your best option, as you may find yourself overwhelmed. They feel like a mini-boss at the very least. Ha! No, it's not Steel Soul yet. This is practice. And this guy's gonna take forever to kill. I think it's gonna take like 20 hits on his head. Oh, no, okay. It's something else then. However, there are a few things like pet damage isn't nerfed. Oh, well, thank you. Let me see who that was. I see. Good. Thank you for the sub, Ball. Yeah, Helmut's not really good for a speedrun. I'm sure speedrunners could do it quite easily. However, I'm not much of a person to really do speedruns. I probably should be trying to do the rubble, because I don't think the damage from that's nerfed. Oh. A cheat, thank you for the sub. No, I don't make any mods. I have no experience with coding and any kind of stuff like that. And Tato, thank you for the sub. It's easier to get the city crest this time around since that first nail upgrade is going to help so much. I'll do 4 damage. Almost an old nail. Get all this candy. No, you can use charms in Hell mod, which is the one reason why it's not completely ridiculously hard. Because if you couldn't use charms, this would be even worse than bind-ins. But because you can use the charms, it's about this. It certainly has aspects of it that's harder than bind-ins, but in other respects, easier than bind-ins. Yeah, Fragile Strength still works. In fact, something like Spell Twister becomes really good, since that will lower the amount of nail strikes you need to get a spell off from 6 to 4. Really? They seemed to work when I did Hell mod. Maybe they updated it. We'll find out. Could be a science experiment. Of course, that means that spells become more powerful, since those can at least be upgraded. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's 6 hits, not 3. Oh, and it takes 5 to kill them. gonna take a while. Oh. So as you can see, double damage sucks. Yeah, also if you happen to die, you can't generate soul while your shade is up. I forgot about that point. I play on keyboard all the way. Well, your nail is damage is halved. The soul catcher is going to do next to nothing in Hell mod, but it's still better than nothing. Yeah, on Steel Soul this would be very challenging at points, because there's just so many places that can become much worse. Like, say you're doing crystallized mound. If you get hit and then knocked into spikes, that's 4 damage right there. And if you have the soul to heal, you can only heal 1 of your masks. So it's highly recommended that you try and get upgrades in Hell mod. Yeah, nail arts are going to be based upon your nail damage, so they're going to be nerfed as well. Otherwise, they'd be stupidly OP. Oh, nice. Soul Catcher gave me extra stuff. Oh, that's certainly a good reason to get Soul Catcher then. Because I could do that each boulder. Gave me enough soul for another Vengeful Spirit. Oh goodness, I don't even want to think about Hell mod with modded bosses. Spells tend to work really good in Hell mod, as much as insofar as you get to use them. The thing is, you've got that kind of thing where you just can't use them anywhere near as much as you would in a normal play. Oh yeah. Oh, jeez. Unfortunately, I do not know how to do a fireball skip. I've only practiced like a few minutes, and I could never get the hang of it. Which is another reason why I don't do speedrunning. Maybe someday I'll learn. And I have to actually pay attention for quite a bit of this, because there are plenty of things here that will get me killed if I grow inattentive. There we go. I never quite remember all the stuff with the Moss Knights because you usually can kill them super fast. I'm pretty sure Fireborn will win on that. Oh, that's right, you can't neglect Zote. So no Vengefly King to worry about. Yeah, I don't know who either of those individuals are. I mean, the thing about Hornet is you're not really too worried about her, but you just want to make sure you're not doing dumb mistakes. Oh, okay, so that wasn't that bad. Oh well, congratulations and best of luck, Miki. Hornet is Silksong. Also, wait, I did pick up the Mothwing Cloak, yeah. Because I think I'm still rested at the Ancestral Bench. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's double damage, nail damage is halved. You've got a lot of unpleasant stuff associated with it. I'm not sure how far I'll make it without deaths, but I know that I have beaten this on Hell Mod. Pantheon 5 is really unpleasant, but I want to try and do it again, this time with Steel Soul, as I did die, I think 3 or 4 times in, you know, as actual deaths, not like Warrior Dreams or kind of stuff that wouldn't actually count as a death. Because I want to say it was like, the Trial of Fools got me 2 or 3 times, at least. Ha! Definitely not no upgrades, because they take way too long. Of course, most of it's just picking up a few extra upgrades here and there, because any kind of extra things that you can equip with Hell Mod, the better. Any extra masks with the double damage certainly helps. Oops. Probably should pay attention to that. As I'm trying to also pay attention in the chat, and that's definitely leading to fun moments. But yeah, super slow healing. Oh well. Good luck if you try it, Dylan. Because especially if you're going to do things like Pantheons, that's where Hell Mod gets very, very crazy. Like, Pantheon 5 took, I think, many, many tries. I think it was somewhere in the 15 range, eventually. As there were... Markoth, Graper, and Zote was one of those huge walls to deal with. And definitely one of the more annoying parts. I'll probably have to copy and paste that into the description as I... Favorite area of the game? I mean, from aesthetics-wise, probably Green Path. But sadly, Green Path is one of those areas that you visit once, and then it's pretty much done. Okay. I'm probably not going to do the Mantis Lords right away, simply because my wonderful 2 damage nail is not exactly the best thing for them. It's just trying to cautiously move through. Because you just don't want to take incidental damage and then find out, I'm down 2 masks. Yeah. Now time for the claw. And the good thing is, I do have the city crest this time. I did beat up Deacon's brother. So I can actually go to the nailsmith. And then we can test out whether nail upgrades work. Because I could have sworn that they worked when I did Hellmod before. Because otherwise, the Pantheons would have been so much worse. And I want to go into the City of Tears to at least get the nail upgrade, although I'm probably not going to actually do things like the Soul Sanctum right away. I probably could, but I don't really like those Soul Magicians at such disadvantages. No, this is playing on normal mode. This is to practice for Steel Soul. Oh. I don't need to... Yeah, I don't need to do a jump to be able to get past that. Yeah, they are super annoying. And they're not all that terrible if you go in with, your nail upgraded once, but if you're going in with a 2 damage, well, 4 damage nail, you're gonna have a bad time. Oh, thank you, Dylan. Hopefully by the time I do it, it won't be something that I'm too worried about. And of course, with the lovely 4 damage from those guys, you just have so many things that can mess up a run. At least Squirrel and his bench are up ahead. Let's chill, Quirrell. Oh, geez, yeah, if you gotta get up for 4:30, especially if that's like 6 hours from now, you probably should get some sleep. Well, I mean, most of the skins are publicly available. It's the White Palace challenges that are going to be the ones that you're going to have to work to get the stuff. Alright, so supposedly I do it 4 damage now. Let's see. Let's test that out. I still... Okay, so maybe it was updated to remove those upgrades. Oh, that's gonna make this a lot more painful. It also means that Shade Soul is something that we need to get ASAP. Jeez. The wonders of a 2 damage nail that now I'm stuck with forever. So that's going to make things a lot harder. It also means a spell build's going to be even better. Well, the thing is, you can only use one spell. You can only store one spell unless you find all the vessel fragments. In which case, I vaguely remember that you could use 2 spells. The White Palace challenges 2 damage at a time? No, I'm gonna come back with Shade Soul and then beat him. It's still gonna be a slow battle, but that's how it's just gonna have to go. Oh, jeez. Okay, cool. Oh, doesn't work up past the elevator. So yeah, I can't be greedy, because otherwise I'm gonna get hit. Okay, 1 down. But I can go over him. Alright, healing. This guy's just not winning the floor is lava challenge. Who knew that floor is lava could actually work to my advantage? Aw. Man, everything's gonna be so tanky now. Every gauntlet's gonna be unpleasant. We're approaching 10 damage. 10 hits to kill things. Permanent slapstick would be great. Needless to say, I'm voiding the Soul Sanctum right away. Yeah, well, when I played it, it actually did have... Actually, wait. One Soul Twister or a gauntlet of enemies. I'll take the Soul Twister. I vaguely remember that since nail upgrades did work, that this wasn't too terrible. Oh, jeez. Now I can just do the shortcut. Oh, the White Palace challenges are ones that on the modern Discord, that you do various kind of challenges in the game to then be able to get one of the skins. Like the Pale King skin is by doing double vessel or absolute radiant spells only or so forth. Oh, Julius, you take double damage. Your soul generation is halved. Your spell damage is slightly nerfed, but not nearly as much. And there's a couple of other things that aren't coming to mind at the moment. When in doubt, knock him into the spikes. Just want your simple key. At least I can come out near Salubra and buy Shaman Stone. Yeah, you will take quad damage if you're getting hit with something that's normally double damage. So basically Ascended difficulty rules. Yeah, the Halloween skin does make all your candy. The Xero replaced with candy. Yeah. However, now that the nail upgrades are in fact disabled, that's going to make things a good bit harder, though. But it does mean a spell build is basically what I'm going to have to do. Yeah, you don't want to be overcharged. You're gonna take even more damage. That's gonna be 4 times the damage, I think. You're gonna take like 8 damage. Yeah, don't do this with randomizer. You're gonna regret it. So the real fun is going to be whether I can get down that drop without actually... without actually being knocked into the spikes. Because that's more my concern. Which is why I prefer to have Desolate Dive at this point. But this works too. Now the thing is, the vessel fragments aren't going to mean squat until I find all 9. And that's if it still works like the old ways I played before. That once you complete all 3 soul vessels, it counts as being able to gather 1 spell. To where you can have a whopping 2 spells used at once. Well, thank you, Emily, for the sub. Yeah, sadly, Unbreakable Strength is going to be completely useless at this point. Xero Phantom, thank you for the sub. Because that will just mean that I do 3 damage. Which is going to be a little bit too weak. Well, thank you. 1 second. Is it Gian? I'm terrible with pronunciation, so my apologies if I completely butchered that, but thank you for the sub. That's true, but I'd rather take charms that boost my damage with spells. Or increase soul generation. It also means that Dreamwielder is going to be incredibly good for this run. Because Dreamwielder will still mean instant maxed out soul. Especially with so little to carry. Yeah. The unfortunate thing of having no charms. Well, thank you. Let me see who that was. Olivia, thank you for the sub. Now, I really wish I did have the money to continue to get that next charm notch. Because then I could actually purchase that charm notch and be able to use Soul Catcher with it. But Soul Twister's even better to use with it. I'm certainly not going to be doing Pantheon 5 with 2 damage nail. Might actually be pretty decent to go grab things like... Yeah, Soul Twister will definitely save me. Because that will put me down to 4 nail hits for a spell instead of 6. But basically, this run will get carried by Shade Soul. Yeah. Unfortunately, I live along a semi-busy road, so the loudest cars are going to get heard. And some people just like to be very loud in their driving. So I should probably also make my way back to Lem so I can cash in Well, a lot of practice, a lot of fails, a lot of deaths. That's the easiest way to sum it up. Bradley. At least those guys are worth quite a bit. I should point out, I've died a lot in practice and stuff. And I've certainly died a lot on the off-screen parts. So, that's the major reason why. Ali, the Zaliant actually has a really good Pure Vessel guide. There's also Perpetual Noob's guide that might also help. Because I know that both of them have a much more in-depth thing than what I could actually explain. I'd recommend those first, but I can certainly give tips if there's something in particular that's giving you trouble with it. I'm not sure I rescued that many grubs to get the mask shard. Grub song would be terrible in this run. Yeah. I can probably get Brood and Moloch and a bunch of the other guys in this area taken care of. Against Radiance? Yeah, if you're talking about... Let's see. Quick Slash would be better with... Quick Slash would be good for this run if I'm just trying to use it to generate soul, but not so much for the actual damage. Okay, in 1 second. Let's see, with spikes with Pure Vessel, he's always going to teleport or jump to the side that he's currently on, so always be ready to watch for him coming from that side, because he's always going to be above you and then dive, and you can either move in where he is, close to him. You have a safe spot between him and the first spike that's closest to him. And you can either aim, if you don't have steady body, you can just aim up and make attacks that way. Or you can do Abyss Shriek, or you can jump on his head and pogo. Like, you can pogo twice and descend in dark. There's quite a few options. Yeah, Brood and Moloch's not being very cooperative. Oh. I got greedy. One downside of being inattentive. Oh, geez, I got lucky there. There we go. Finally. These guys take forever to kill on Hell mod. Yeah, I shouldn't be alive times 2. This one is Hell mod. Now that I am super surprised to be alive, let's try and recover. Because I'm still in that small little problem where everything is fatal at this point. Yeah, I'm going to try and pick up as many stuff as possible, but I'm certainly not going to be picking up thorns because of using it. So I may not be picking it up very quickly. Yeah, it adds a lot more difficulty, especially because it actually put it back to where you don't get nail upgrades. Oh, bugger. Like, those guys take... the little babies take 3 hits to kill. Alright, Grub Father, I'm certainly hoping that I can get another mask shard. Because at this point, anything that gives masks is gonna help. Well, yes and no. It means you have to largely play a lot more defensively, because everything is going to just take longer, and you're gonna win a lot slower. Oh goodness, I suspect so. You definitely don't want to try and needlessly add damage to things. That's very likely the case. However, I will have Shade Soul. Which will make life so much easier. I should also point out that even though I heal at the speed of what Deep Focus would be, if I equip Deep Focus, my healing will go even slower. So good luck using healing in battle if you decide to equip Deep Focus. Oh, okay, well you have a good night, Toysko. Yeah, it looks like nail upgrades have been removed. So, this is going to make things more painful. Oh, okay, well I'll heal again in just a moment. Yeah, see, you're best off... You can only really heal during staggers. Unless you find really good opportunities to heal up. Wait, did I take that? I think I did. Oh geez, I haven't even opened the Dirtmouth Stagway. Not really. The most of the bosses are pretty fair. I mean, there's not too many that have unfair attacks, and really, unless you decide that you want to do Fluke Marm with the old nail and no charms or anything, then the bosses are quite doable. I should have taken that dirt mouth path for the stagway. Now we gotta take the crossroads all the way back. Yeah. Now I can take half of an additional hit. We got this. Yeah, it can mean the difference between life or death, but by itself, it doesn't mean too much. Alright, how many things do I have? That's still not enough to be able to get the mask, not the mask. Get the lantern. Yeah, the banker probably has done something of that sort in Hell mod. Oh, Marmu would be crazy. Like, there's a few options that I could go to do things. I think I'm gonna be trying the Soul Sanctum after all. I'm gonna have to keep those little soul users, all them race cars out there. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot harder on Steel Soul than I thought, just because when I played it, nail upgrades worked. Now, this is gonna be even harder. So I may have to rethink the Steel Soul thing. Or be sure that I've prepared a lot. Thank goodness for Shaman Stone. Thank goodness for double hits. Oh, thank you, Keith. I'm not sure. I know that there's quite a few players that could do this in Steel Soul. And I'm pretty sure with enough practice, because I mean, a lot of it comes down to, if you practice enough, you can do it. It's just the question of whether you want to put in that practice. Aw. Okay, well, it didn't matter. I was hoping for a double hit. Okay, this is where it's gonna get fun. Because I don't want this guy chasing me. Come on. There we go. The downside, though, is if you go down, another one spawns, and I don't want to spawn it. As much as I care about the Geo, I don't care about it that much. Hardest boss? Probably Absolute Radiance. I still mess up quite a bit on her. And it's a long fight. Hell mod makes it everything so much worse. Oh, that was rude. You don't just teleport out of a vengeful spirit. Alright, so that's one. Oh, goodness. These guys aren't really ones I can stop to heal against. Okay, I can't go too far left. Otherwise I'll spawn the third one. And that will make life so much harder. There we go. Like, you got really two options that work pretty decently. Go all out, run, or try to daintily kill them one by one. Considering it's hell mod, I prefer to be daintily killing them one by one. Perfect. Now I don't have to worry about them. The only downside is, if I can't use Spell Twister against Soul Master without going back to a bench, and I don't want to do that. Oh. I was waiting for the room to get crazy. Oh hey, they can't even fit through the door. Yeah, I almost forgot about the second wave of critters. Right, that should be enough time to heal. Ah, and he can't get past the door either. Alright, full recovery. We got this. Alright, the two most useful charms for our run have been acquired. Yeah, spell damage is slightly nerfed. Alright, time to pay somewhat attention. However, fortunately, he's got things like this where you could actually heal up. Oh. I thought I had the soul for it. That's very rude, Soul Master. You don't stagger up there. Oh, 1 second. Hey. I will continue in one moment. She may still want attention. Now staggering in the wall. This is certainly taking its time. There we go. I bet that's the last we see of him. My nail does... It's Artemis for the cat's name, and my nail does 2 damage. Don't worry, you'll have your spike floor on Wednesday. Sadly, Hellmod and spike floors would not mix well. Aww. Alright, that's finally over. Soul Master, not Cat Aggro. Hey, come on out. And now with Desolate Dive, I can have so many things opened up. Yeah, I think I was allergic to cats as a kid, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Aw. She just wants all the attention. I think she knows when I'm streaming. There's times that this soul binding works to a real disadvantage. This is one of those times. Since I really can't use soul, except to break those. That's where they were. I was waiting for these guys. Oh goodness. And now for the fun room. They're gonna make them take forever. I'm going to get that grub the easy way. Dang it. Oh, phew. Yeah, it's Halloween night. Well, I'm not sure. Zote Knight is pretty fun to use. But it seems to be more of a meme thing. does seem to be a little bit unusual. But if that's how folks roll, then cool beans. Okay, which way do I want to go? I think this way, because I want to go back to Lem. Because at that point, I can get the lantern. And then after the lantern, I can probably go to Crystal Peak or Crystal Heart. And see what else I can get.
Velmi Artrit. Velmi Artrit. Velmi Artrit. Gachael Liasoke.
I mean, the Vengefly really should have seen the warnings on the elevator to not try to enter the shaft. It wasn't a certified elevator repair person, so it should never go into an elevator shaft. Alright, well, you have a good night, Olivia. Oh, hey, Glock. No, I'm not gonna do 112% with Hell mod. Just because doing the Pantheons with the reduced damage is really, really painful. And when I did it, I had nail upgrades that could work. Now I don't have those nail upgrades, so it's gonna be even less fun. Okay, so that's why I was going up to Crystal Peak, because I want to get the Shopkeeper key. Because then I can get Shade Soul. And once I have Shade Soul, the game becomes much easier. Yeah, if I do a Steel Soul Hell mod, it's going to be 107%, I believe, and just go to the Radiance and the Black Egg. Because if you're doing Steel Soul, it loses all meaning once you reach God Home. It just becomes a normal run at that point. Yeah, technically pets don't have their damage nerfed in Hell mod, but they're still pretty weak to be able to use effectively. Also, they take up about 500 charms. This might have been a mistake. Well, thank you. Let me see who that was. Lewis, thank you for the sub. Oh, crap. This was a very bad choice. I regret all my choices with that. I need to reset them. Because having all four of them above me, ready to swarm, that is not going to end well. There we go. That's how I should have done it. I mean, I've been meaning to, but... Oh, let's see, who is that? Lunar Hollow, thank you for the sub. But with some of the modded bosses, especially with Radiant, it's just trying to make time to actually do them. Like, I've been working on Trader God periodically. Oh, hey! Thank you for the donation, Ethan. Well, I'll have to definitely make time for that. I can't promise anything in the immediate future, but I will be trying. I will have to do that. Yeah, I do have them enabled. I just don't really fret as to whether or not anyone does anything with it, especially nowadays with COVID. But thank you very much, Ethan. I will have to put it on my list of things to do, because I was periodically working on Trader God, but it had, one second. but there's the thing that with modded bosses in particular, you kind of jump around with it. I think it's largely because there's a few modded bosses that you try periodically, but you don't genuinely expect to win. You just hope that you get slowly a little bit better. Because trying to do Traitor God without using spells, that is pretty difficult. Because the two different shock waves, lining up your jumps and dashes for them, was something that was still giving me trouble. In my first playthrough, that is a long time ago, I think it was probably the Hollow Knight, because when I did the Hollow Knight... Oh well, thank you very much again, Ethan. But it was probably the Hollow Knight, because when I went in the first time with the Hollow Knight, I missed a lot of things. So I think I had nail 1 when I fought the Hollow Knight, and immediately regretted it. But thank you very much again, Ethan. Oh, jeez. Because I imagine that... I don't recall Watcher Knights being super hard. I think I died a few times with them. But I think the first time I did it, that wasn't too terrible. But I remember getting to the Hollow Knight with nail 1, and that was very rough. Oh, crap. When in doubt, use their own pickaxe against them. Oh, well, thank you. Carlos, thank you for the sub. I mean, if folks dislike them, they have their reasons. Alright, Gamer and Games. See you Wednesday for all the suffering that you can unleash. One second. Lego Animate, thank you for the sub. Oh crap. I just realized that I should watch out for the lasers. These guys are gonna take forever to kill. Unless I use spells, apparently. This is a part to be very nervous at, because I only have a whopping 4 health. Although 5 now. I just need to wait for this guy to come back down. I can get my shopkeeper key. There we go. I can potentially beat up Crystal Guardian. goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, good. I dashed instead of jumped. Well, that was unfortunate. Let's try that again, this time without doing stupid stuff. But yeah, that's the downside with the Hell mod, because you're gonna hit things like that where you think you're confident, and all that double damage is going to get you. Yeah, big F for that. But as you can also see, with Hell mod, I can't get Soul until I get my Shade back. All the more reason to try and make sure you get it back to it quickly. Oh, goodness. Yes, Christopher Gordon has struck again. At some point, I'll do the rest of Poorly Translated. Wow, it's 5 hits for your Shade. Should probably just stick to Vengeful Spirits. Now, one thing you can do, however, is do a Shade skip to get up to the Mask Shard if you're willing to kill Crystal Guardian and while keeping your Shade alive, as that will let you pogo up there to reach Enrage Guardian without Monarch Wings. It's not recommended for obvious reasons. On the plus side, now I know I don't have to worry about Pale Ore. Oh. So I don't feel obligated to try and make my way over to the early Pale Ore at the top of Crystal Peaks. Live randomizer with Twitch mod? I mean, I don't know if folks really want to see that, but the thing about it is, I suspect it would largely be what it is right now, only with more chaos as to what's showing up. So I'm not really sure it would add too much beyond what's already been done. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they do with Silksong to change things around. Like, the tools and the crests and everything look pretty interesting. There we go. One day I'll make it across. Because, I mean, I'm still curious as to what kind of moveset Hornet has. Whether she gets things like double jump or so forth. Because double jump seems to be a pretty staple ability in most kind of Metroidvanias. Because we see in the trailer that she bounces off one of her tools, but I'm not sure if that would be how they implement double jump or whatnot. Luskin, definitely. But I mean, they both have their challenges, especially if you're doing them for the first time. Yeah, I played Blasphemous. In fact, I did a all bosses, no damage thing with it. Had a lot of fun with it. Oh, this is going to be unpleasant. Oh, goodness. Just missed it. There we go. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually try crystallized mound. Well, let's try it. The worst case is I die horribly. However, 3 masks is not what I would want to go into here with. Oh, crap. See? That's why. Oh, goodness. I thought I was making it to the wall and didn't get to it in time. But yeah, that's the downside with doing things like crystallized mound, because you're going to have the thing that if you just take damage and get knocked into the spikes, you're going to take much worse with Hell mod. So you see, this is why I'm not doing Steel Soul right away. Because it's been a while, and it clearly shows. Alright, let's try that again. Hopefully this time without the foolishness. Yeah, sadly you don't get Bash until Hollow Knight 3. Really? That is a terrible place to have a shade. That is one of the worst places to have your shade be. Oh god. Of all the places I could have it spawn. Okay, there we go. Alright. Actually, wait, there's a grub still. This could be bad. Yeah, Crystallized Mound is one of the places in Hell mod that I definitely worry about. For the exact reason that I died there. Of course, now I have Descend in Dark, so this is the answer to everything in this run. Oh, well, thank you, Nikki. Thank you for the, sorry. Thank you for the donation. I can't even talk right tonight. Well, you have a good night, Ronaldo. Yeah, everything I say is being translated by Google. Sadly, with Helmut, you have to realize that you don't really have much soul for healing. So your option is to don't get hit in the first place. I've definitely passed 1,300 hours. I mean, the thing is, I've tried various kind of things, mods, just other sorts of things that were fun to do, and fooled around with stuff, so not all of it was spent, like, practicing stuff. But there's always been things with Hollow Knight that have drawn me back, that I've had a lot of fun with. All-time favorite mod? I'd probably say that it's... Oh wow, that's a curious custom night glitch. The night's getting crazy in the dream world. A boss mod, probably a tribal battle, still my favorite. Although Inferno King Grimm is really good. Because both of them aren't particularly super hard or anything. But they're very entertaining. That, they have a good bit of fun to it. Like, Tribal Battle is fun just because I love it for the pogo-in. But Inferno King Grimm has a lot of things that are really fun about the fight with trying to dodge everything. Yeah, the knight was having a very bad dream. Yeah, I have beaten Atomic Radiance. There's still, like, more Radiance mods to do at some point. I'm not sure how good that's going to go. Yeah, I have a Lightbringer playthrough. Oh, well, thank you, Nikki. My favorite in-game... the boss... If we're talking about the base game, probably Sisters of Battle or Pure Vessel. I should probably kill Xero first. Let's see. But if we're talking about modded bosses, probably Tribe of Battle. Alright, one moment. You know, the downside is I probably increased Xero's health, while at the same time not increasing my damage. Be an awful shame if I were to be foolish and do that again. Thank goodness for double hits. Now, even though there's no way I can hit him with Descend in Dark unless I pogo him, which is a very bad idea, Descend in Dark is still the answer to everything here. I don't know, actually, but I presume that they didn't change it to where even though you can't do the nail upgrades, that their boss health doesn't increase for an upgrade. So I'm going to assume that their health increases even as your nail damage doesn't. And thank you. I'm waiting to see who that was. Wow, and thank you for the sub. might take a while. I probably should get Shade Soul. Oh, thank you! Let me see who that was. Chaos Knight, thank you for the sub. They're probably a good ways away. To be honest. Well, thank you. 1 second. Moon Ruby, thank you for the sub. At least Ascend in Dark was the answer there. X Games Jr., thank you for the sub. And Alaster, thank you for the sub as well. 1 second. I usually go until like 1 a.m.-ish, so probably another hour and a half at least. Like, it's still pretty early. So we'll see how it goes, but probably a good while still. I definitely need to get Shade Soul now. Maybe a few more upgrades before pushing on. Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of thing you're playing, because if you're playing Item Randomizer, I think Dreamgate is a findable thing. Most annoying boss? Fluke Marm with low upgrades, but other than that, definitely Marmu. The first time I did Marmu, I could not get the hang of it. And I'm a lot better at it now than I was before, but I'm still pretty bad at it. Like, unless that I have, like, Mark of Pride equipped, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get hit by Marmu. Oh, that certainly cleared things out. For Pure Vessel, is there anything particular? Zaliant has a really good Pure Vessel guide. Perpetual Noob has a guide, and those would be better for an in-depth thing than anything I could do, like, in the really short-term kind of stuff. But if there's something, like, specific that you're asking about, then... I mean, there's things like folks will want additional challenges here and there. What kind of stuff about Sisters of Battle is giving you trouble? Yeah, in Radiant, Markov is very annoying. It's just one of the unfortunate things of doing Markov on Radiant. Whatever, descend in dark, answer to everything. Well, I mean, there's Royal Dreamer, which certainly adds some more challenge to Markov. Oh, he's just like, be quiet, grub. Well, it's also that they can't achieve their final form of growing a mustache. Because Hell Mod is very difficult. It gives you a constant soul binding, and it lowers your spell generation. It does a lot of bad things. Hell Mod is a mod that makes the game much harder. Gives you a constant soul binding, half nail damage. You can't upgrade your nail, at least in this version now. You take double damage, and you heal a lot slower. Oh, thank you. Let me see who that is. Hugh Kenway, thank you for the sub. A King Family, thank you for the sub as well. Oh, there's definitely things harder. Wait. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I think I have the shopkeeper key, but I didn't bring it back to Sly. So I need to do that so I can get the elegant key. And then go get Shade Soul. Yeah, it is interesting. The only downside to the relic dialogue is once you've seen it about 500 times, you're not too keen on it. Oh, if only. However, by the time that you actually get to the Pantheon of Hallownest, you don't need the nail upgrades. Or rather, once you beat them, you're not going to need it. Oh, thank you. This one's the Halloween skin to make this run extra spooky. No Monarch Wings. I first want Shade Soul, then I'll worry about Monarch Wings.
Oh, Papa.
I'm probably gonna hit up Salubra's shop as well. That's the sentiment that a lot of us here or have. I'd say only slightly interested. I tend to joke around about lore instead of actually seriously discuss it. Well, what would happen is you'd have a third of your full bar, and because I can only have 1/3 of my main bar, it doesn't do anything until I get every soul vessel filled. Once you get them all filled, it'll hold another spell. So there's a big incentive to getting all 9. It's just, that's usually a late game upgrade. Oh no, the Mila Illuminati is real. Mila is behind everything. Okay, I only need 4 more. I want all the charms. Ah. I want all the notches, but I can't afford it. It's all poverty and everything. Come on, give me money. At the very least, I can afford Spell Twister. Alright, well you have a good night, Captain Levi. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to really go into depth with explaining stuff with those bosses, but I do urge you to check out those guides, particularly for Pure Vessel. And, I mean, just like ask me in Discord about stuff as well, and I can usually answer. Yeah, Sam. I've only been live tonight for like an hour and a half. Okay, so city storerooms, because I need to get the Shade Soul. No, not yet. I think I vaguely noticed the role-playing, but sadly, I haven't been able to pay too much attention to it. Unless it enters not safe for work kind of territory role-playing, which it doesn't look like it is, then that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Elton, it is something that gives you double damage. You do half nail damage, half soul generation. You have a few other penalties that aren't coming to mind right now. Favorite skin is probably Grimm Knight, Infected Knight, and maybe Pale King. Sittin' Jack, thank you for the sub. Yeah, it's pretty much a spells only build at this point, because when I did Hellmod a long time ago, I could do the nail upgrades, but they're actually disabled. Oh, that was complete waste. Ascend in Dark is the answer to everything. Even that. Ah, but not that. Wait, I thought my spells... Okay, I might die because I wasn't paying attention to my soul. Well, never mind. Be awfully funny to die to this ghost, though. Oh yeah, that's more of an example than actually saying that you were doing that. And apologies if that was given the implication of that. I mean, I think I'm a normal, functional person, just like any other person. But, I mean, I have my own faults and flaws and everything, like any other person. Oh, it's all good, Elizabeth. What happens is that there's some bosses I'll give you trouble the first time around, but if you keep practicing, eventually it'll click. Oh, I still have a lot of bosses to do. I've only got Crystal Heart, and now Shade Soul. So I think what I'm going to do is go into the Ancient Basin and go ahead and get double jump. Yes, I do have a voice. Yes, I'm very excited for Silksong. Although I should point out that I still have so many other games to play first that I can wait, but once Silksong is announced and everything, and whenever it comes out, I'll definitely be dropping everything to play it. because I'm very eager to see what kind of changes come into play. Oh, immortal enemies would be interesting, especially with bosses. Unfortunately, I don't have the room for Wayward Compass in this build. Besides, it'd be way too easy if I used the compass. I have to allow for some challenge. Well, welcome. Alright, let's lure these guys over one by one. It is so nice to have an actual spell that does damage. Probably Green Path. Just because I love the music, I love the aesthetics of the area. The downside being that it is an early game area and you're probably not coming back to do much there. Oh yeah, I've done my voice in a videos for quite a few. I even did a full commentary run up Hollow Knight. Just to practice doing it in a video kind of thing. Wait, I should probably use that bench. Well, I mean, I'm not going to use the compass this time just because it's too powerful. Other times, I might have to take its power. It's actually the name that I used in StarCraft as a teenager. So, when I made the account, it was back in like 2009. I only had it for one, like, video. So it just, it was just kind of more of a throw-in name just based upon what I had done with StarCraft, but it just kind of is, at this point, I'm more used to it. Oh goodness, that was close. This is not a safe spot to heal. A 2 damage nail is probably not the best weapon to be using here. I just want to get my mask back. Well, that took a nice long while. I don't even think I wanted to try and get past that guy normally. I can probably just slowly recover. Of course, narrowly dodging that one does not fill me with much confidence. Ah, they have so much health. I'm trying to not be risky. Well, welcome, Mr. Clickbait. It is something that makes the game significantly more challenging. You do half nail damage, half soul generation. You also take double damage. And you have a variety of other penalties. You heal a lot slower. You don't get soul if your shade is active. And you also got a small spell nerf, and the damage is mostly the same. All this candy. Yes, because you have a constant soul binding as well. So it largely means you want to be careful because every mistake costs you a lot. I've used the HP bar mod once, when I did Bonfire. It's actually really handy. I'm very glad those ghosts only have 1 health. No, it's the nail upgrades are turned off and you do half nail damage. So I'm stuck at 2 damage nail. I did upgrade it once already because when I played Hell Mod like a year ago, the nail upgrades worked, but now they don't. So it's going to make this run even worse. Yeah, I just needed a drink. Okay, I can double jump now. The game becomes a little easier. Alright, so I'm gonna try Lost Kin once or twice, but I don't think it's gonna work out. See, we're off to a great start. Send in dark, the answer to everything. One second, let me see who that is, so I can thank them. Cola Kitchen, thank you for the sub. However, I will try to not pause during Lost Kin. Oh crap. I could probably heal. I just don't think I'm gonna get the opportunities. Oh, crap. Now that was dumb. Now the problem is, as well, with a weak enough nail, you will have Lost King go stagger immune. Oh, geez, that was close. I am not playing very well, considering with all these spells I've missed. The good thing about Lost Kin, though, is because of the sheer amount of ads you get, and that they only take 1 health. Oh crap. Is that you can actually keep getting a lot of soul. Well, thank you. Crap. Ah, crap. Alright, we're trying that again, because I think I can do it. Zoid Gaming, thank you for the sub. No, the staggers should be about the same. Lostkin staggers very easily, but he actually has it to where if he's gonna last long enough because of the the low damage you're doing. Ah, that was wonderful. Then he's going to become stagger immune. I think he's one of the few bosses that can become stagger immune. Oh, goodness. This is one of those things where you do fine the first time, but then you're going to do poorly on the subsequent tries. Oh, I'm actually surprised I got that. Of course, I still have an even number of health, so this is not good. Ah! Yeah, that's a dumb one. Alright, we're going to do it a third try. Hopefully this time I don't do the foolishness of the second attempt and go back to where I was with the first attempt. Like, if I come in here with low upgrades, Lostkin's still one of those bosses that gives me trouble. And his hops are the thing that always annoy me, because they're so hard to predict. There, maybe I can get the heal. Nope. The downside is you just don't want to... Ooh, that was a lucky parry. You really don't want to be above him because he's going to jump. Ah, crap. It's always those leaps like that. Like a few more upgrades and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get him. Oh. Alright, we will come back for him. I am apparently very out of practice with him. Yeah, you definitely want to stay low with Lost Kin. No, the charms that I have are pretty much the best ones that I can use for the fight. Because with my 2 damage nail, it's spells and spells only. Like, my best option is to just Shade Soul or Descend in Dark. I just have to play better with it. Favorite charm loadout? I usually use Strength, Mark of Parade, Shaman Stone, and Spell Twister. Of course, some folks will use Quick Slash instead of Mark of Pride, which is definitely the stronger option, but I use a lot more of the range charms, and because I'm more used to like the Pogo-in, and so I have the thing where I tend to use them even if I don't need them. Oop. Yeah, if you use Quick Focus, then the speed for a heal goes back to normal for the default game. Unfortunately, that's 3 notches. Yeah, Mark of Pride is a really enjoyable charm. However, it's... Let's see... Where to now? I've got either Hornet 2... Actually, Hornet 2 is probably the best option, unless I go back to do some other things. Alright, well, you have a good night, 05. That's right, I'm gonna need soul to break the barrier. Oh, cool. Well, best of luck with Pantheon 3 and 4, Mr. Clickbait. Well, thank you, Houston. Well, thank you for the donation, Houston. Alright, odd number. Of course, there is a benefit to getting Shade Cloak if you're comfortable doing Hornet 2. Which isn't too terrible. Especially with Shade Soul and Shaman Stone. Yeah, 1 second. This is one of those things to where getting distracted definitely hurts. And I'm finding that being able to pay attention to both chat and the game is not working as well as I may have thought. Oh, Elder Who, you're being very difficult. Constantly doing his little teleports. Really? Jeez. There we go. Finally. Oh yeah, he's easy, but with Hell Mod, everything is tanky. Yeah, I mean, I know that the speedrunners wish for good RNG with that. Okay, let me go back up a bit. Gamer on Games, which part of Pantheon 3 is having trouble? Is giving you trouble? No. I'm definitely going to not do God Home with this version of Hell Mod. I've already done Hell Mod with Pantheon 5, but definitely not going to do it with this one, because this one takes away the nail upgrades. Yeah, like I don't have Shadow Dash at the moment, so things can be a little annoying. Because this one's a good bit harder than it was when I previously did it, just because of the nail upgrades being gone. Let's see. With Great Prince Zote, your best thing is when he's doing his dive from above, just like Descend in Dark right before he would land. And that gives you a lot of... that will not only avoid the damage from that, but lets you move out and then take a few swings on him. Otherwise, kill the ads when he pops up. Oh, well, thank you, Gamer on Games. Let's see. I'm trying to remember who comes after Great Prince Zote in Pantheon 3. Is it Umu? Because if it's Umu, you get the opportunity to Dream Nail them twice, and you can heal up a bit. Oh, okay, then even without Dream Wheeler, you can Dream Nail Umu twice. Wait, I think I missed. Yeah, this is the way over to Howling Wraiths. Yeah. It's just the entire realization that, as well, that anything that does 2 masks, like the Umas, are going to also do 4 masks. And so you best pay attention. Because everything hurts. Well, Failed Champion has a few things that you can do. Like, if you go into the corner, the opposite side that Failed Champion's on, you can keep looping him around to where he's... because he'll always, after finishing his current attack, do something where he'll run at you and then jump. Oop. Yeah, I do need to be careful. Because the problem is... I turn my head to look at chat. And then that throws me off. Oh, let's see. Like, if I'm not using things like Mark of Pride, Marmu still gives me a bit of trouble in that I get hit by it pretty easily. And as we saw, I'm a bit rusty with Lost Kin. Especially with weaker kind of stuff. Like, I'm pretty confident with doing Lost Kin normally, but with the things that make the fight last longer, I am significantly less confident with. This is a practice run of Hell Mod, which imparts a lot of penalties to the player, making things very unpleasant and hellish. Fragile Strength would not really help much because my nail does 2 damage. Oh. I realized I had 2 health, so I was trying to play as cautiously as possible. Like, there's a good chunk of this that I would be confident with if I'm doing normally, but because of the double damage and the slower healing and the less means to heal, there's this kind of thing where I think I'm relatively confident, but then I start making mistakes. And each mistake costs you dearly. Oh wait, I can open up this way. Oh, cool. Well, congratulations on Unbreakable Charms, Gamer on Games. Well, I should point out, I think, double hit Massive Moss Charger with Shade Soul, which I think is more what contributed it to its demise. Use spells. That's the only real solution. Because when I played it, I could upgrade my nail, which made your nail do 10 damage with a pure nail, which helped a lot, but not exactly, let's see, what do I want to do now? I think I could do Stone Sanctuary. In fact, this might be a good point to use that bench over there. Go over to Stone Sanctuary and... Actually, I could do Howling Cliffs as well, because I could beat up Gorb, beat up No Eyes along the way, and I can get the Stag Nest Vessel Fragment. I'm using the Halloween Night. It's private skin from doing a challenge to beat Trial of the Fool under the effects of Fury of the Fallen. I should point out, Hell mod anything is awful. And I also need to get another mask shard after this so I can have 7 masks. Oh, goodness. Forgetting that I am not having Shade Cloak. Alright, let's see where the next ghosts are. The entire thing is, the name of the game is keep an odd number of health. And don't jump into ghosts. Oh, goodness. Thought I could dash through the gap. So that wonderful part where she's almost dead, and so she's deciding that she's going to just be like, ghosts, ghosts everywhere. There we go. It's sadly one of those fights that as you take damage, you play more and more cautiously. Yeah, because I mess up with those ghosts quite often as well. And unfortunately, I don't have the thing where I can just disregard them. Alright, slow recovery time. Ideally, a fast recovery time. Hey, Burger Hicks, this makes the game much harder by having you take double damage. You take half the your nail does half damage. You can't upgrade your nails, so it's permanently stuck at 2 damage. Your soul generation is halved. You take a small spell damage nerf as well. And you're under the effects of a permanent soul binding. Needless to say, quite a bit of unpleasant stuff. Thank you. However, I have died a few times from foolishness, stupidity, and just not paying attention. Everything takes forever to kill. Which is why I had to rush getting Shade Soul. I started back in July of 2017. A few months after it came out, I saw it on the Steam Summer Sale. It looked interesting, so I ended up playing it, got hooked, and... got hooked and then jumped into Thorns. Okay, well, you have a good night, Reagan. I would probably do 107%, as doing the Pantheon 5 with... Let's see, I could get to Sheo's house, so I'm gonna go to Sheo. But doing the Pantheon 5 with a 2 damage nail is definitely not high on my things to do. Like, I did Pantheon 5 when you could upgrade your nail in Hell mod. And that was already painful enough. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm gonna just need to get some soul from this guy. Heal up. Just gotta pay attention. No, I haven't done the delicate flower yet. Usually I save that until pretty late. Oh, cool. Well, congratulations on that, Mr. Clickbait. I ended up buying like a bunch of friends Hollow Knight when it was like 50% off. Well, thank you very much, Gamer and Games. I should point out that I am definitely making a lot more mistakes trying to keep up with chat, but it's a good bit of fun. Like, this is just practice for more Hellmod, and given that it's a 2 damage nail for the entire run, I'm rethinking of trying to do it on Steel Soul. Like, if it had it to where it was still you could upgrade your nail, then I'd probably try and push, but I'm thinking that getting through this is going to be good enough for me. Actually, wait, I want to go to Howling Cliffs and clear that out. Oh, that's right, I didn't go up the other way and activate all the switches. See. Because if I go to Howling Cliffs, I'll get a King's Idol, at which point I can definitely hit up Lem and then clean out Sly a little bit more. How much Dream Essence I got? 400? Okay. So with Gorb, that'll be 500 getting me Dream Wielder. Yeah, nail arts are pretty much nerfed as well because they're going to be based on your normal nail damage. On the plus side, nail arts do 5 damage. Big numbers. Yeah, sadly, they, because of how it is, it's just going to make it so you just can never upgrade your nail. You're stuck at 2. If I want to use Fragile Strength, I can put it to 3, but that's just 1 extra damage with nail swings for 3 notches is not worth it. So the best thing to do is get Shade Soul, Shaman Stone, and then try to... Let's see. Oh goodness. I should probably have done that a little bit better. But yeah, every mistake, it's gonna get you. And recovering from those mistakes are even harder, which is why benches are so nice. Yeah, 5 damage is big numbers. But I mean, when you could upgrade your nail in Hellmod, it was actually pretty reasonable. Because you could use Fragile Strength, get to 15 damage, and that's pretty decent for being able to continue to clear stuff. I mean, even getting Nail 3, which you can get pretty quickly, you would do 12 damage. Because if you play Lightbringer, the lances are nerfed to where they do 3 damage plus 3 per upgrade. So you're going to do 15 damage with your best lance. I've died, let's see, twice in Crystal Peak. And then I've lost to Lost Kin 3 times. There's probably another point that I've died already as well. Well, welcome back, Elton. Base nail damage in a normal game would be 5 damage, but this halves it to 2 damage. Well, I think it rounds down to just make it even harder. Well, that's part of the custom night skin. You just need to install custom night via the mod installer, and then put a sprite in the sprite sheets and set it up as needed, so then you can switch between them. Like, for instance, I could switch between a lot of these, but I'm going to keep it with Halloween night. Oh yeah, if you're playing on Switch, then you won't be able to mod, so that is one of the more unfortunate things. Oh, cool, Mr. Clickbait. Because if you take a break and you come back after a while, sometimes it gets easier. But I know that I've reached points where banging my head against the wall against something to beat something is not necessarily the wisest choice. Now, if I could only learn that lesson when it's like 3 in the morning. Alright, now to go very delicately through this area. Because there's going to be so many venge flies. All the venge flies. On the plus side, each hit killing them off with a nail means another spell. Alright, so I think 3 of them come out now? No, still 2. The big thing is I just need to also save soul so I can descend in dark out. Otherwise I'd have to take the long way out. Oh, yeah, I'll be streaming on Wednesday, Elton. I'll be continuing with the Hollow Twitch one, where folks can mess with my game. Where they'll probably do what they did with the Dream Nail, to do everything in their power to where I have to time out commands. Or blacklist them temporarily. I mean, it's more for the completion percentage, if I'm gonna seriously go for 107%. I don't actually need Joni's Blessing, even though it is one of the most powerful charms in the game. Yeah, I can't upgrade my nail, unfortunately. Thanks to Hell Mod. Yeah, Geo for Candy for Geo is one of the nice things of Halloween mod. I think it's slightly nerfed, but the thing about it is, I'm not exactly sure as to how much it's nerfed. So you see, completing that soul vessel, that didn't actually give me anything that I can store soul with. But if I complete all if I get all 9 to complete all 3 soul vessels, it'll make a soul vessel to where I can store a second spell. Big numbers. But yeah, Spell Twister and Shaman Stone is really your best move. Unfortunately, we've already ascended with Gorb, so he's already cool with it. And yes, I am excited for Silk Song.
To sta cocando.
We have ascended with Gorb. Well then, I will be enjoying that DLC like a lot of other people.
Hele somet.
Alright, well you have a good night, Chloe. Oh wait. Thank you for the nail art. And now I must go. Oh, thank you. 1 second. Aristold, thank you for the sub. Right, time to do Chain Smoker Grimm and get the Grimm child. Oh, good morning, Sloth. Well, thank you for the sub, Kai Kinder. And now Grimm has his raspy smoker voice. Instead of asking for a light for his cigarettes, he should be asking for a drink of water. Yeah, Nightmare King Grimm will do 4 damage with Hell Mod. Alright, 7 masks. I'm becoming slightly durable. Well, I mean, when you're comprised of fire and all that, like Grimm, I suppose smoking just becomes a habit. Oh well, thank you, Houston Smith, for the donation. And though, thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I like how the last stag is be like, there's a stag nest that's been missing. I've already been there. Not Absolute Radiance with this mod. Not with Hell mod. I have beaten Pure 5 with Pantheon 5 with Hell mod, but that was when you could upgrade your nail. And without being able to upgrade your nail, I don't think that I could get through the 5th Pantheon. At least not without a lot of practice. So ideally, I would just focus on getting to Radiance and the Black Egg. Well, thank you. Let me see who that is.
Senga? Ah, Lucani.
Salika Perez, thank you for the sub. Huh. Well, I should point out, with Absolute Radiance with the 2 damage nail, I certainly don't believe in myself. Not to mention all the other penalties of Hell mod. Oh, I'm gonna have to go buy Saluber so I can get that. Get all the stuff there. I am not going to try and face Revik. I'm only here for the King's Idol. It is a very enjoyable and amazing game, Kai. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to Lem, then Salubra, and buy stuff. Yeah, I'm probably gonna stop at 107%. Of course, there's no way I'm gonna finish this tonight, because it's almost 1 in the morning here. So I'm probably gonna go for another 30-45 minutes or so, and then stop. Which might be enough time to get, like, acid resistance and maybe Shade Cloak. Okay, Lem is this way. I mean, I can certainly find something to do with them. But next stream would be Hollow Twitch, so it's gonna be everyone being able to make me suffer horribly. It's generally Wednesdays and Saturdays. Like last week, I did it on Sunday instead of Saturday because of it being the 4th of July in the US for the holiday. And usually outside my place, there's going to be there were a lot of fireworks. This year, not so much. But yeah, normally it's 10 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I try to at least let people know in my Discord if I'm going to have to change it for whatever reason. Oh goodness, no, no, Victoria, I don't think that I'm going to try and do Hell Twitch mod. That would be evil. And thank you for the sub, Nemo. Well, the sound effects randomizer can have Zoot singing quite a bit. Well, you'd be surprised. Bees and Fleur Spice can be plenty enough to make things suffer in. Because especially if you hit me with inverted controls and everything, I'm probably not going to be paying attention enough to them to avoid the bees and the spikes. Oh goodness, no, there's limits as to what I would be doing. Yeah, when folks took away my dash and I didn't realize it for a little bit, that was the worst. Other than the ones where I had to do the precision platforming, but with people putting my walk speed at super fast. I mean, the thing about it with Hollow Twitch is a lot of the fun is just to try and hinder. But there's a point where there's not a whole lot you can do with well-coordinated hindering. I got the dream nail, but I had to turn off certain things. That's right, I got the double jumps, so now it's all infected. This makes me very saddened. Well, with nothing but supportive commands, that wouldn't be much of a challenge. I did try testing out with bosses with Hollow Twitch stuff. You could hypothetically do bosses with lasers and bees and such, but it would take a lot of effort to actually be able to do that without, you know, dying. Especially if you were to try to do it on Radiant. Alright, how many did I need for the next one? 3 more. Well, actually, the other reason that Lifeblood was so useful was because a lot of the stuff, I was taking so much damage from combos that there wasn't much I could do if I didn't have Lifeblood. Oh, that's right, I'm gonna have to go back up this way. Dream Wielder will help enormously. I could probably do False Knight now that I have Dream Wielder. We'll try it out. That's definitely one way to label it. Yeah, it's either Dream or Monarch Wings. It's just sometimes I forget the Monarch Wings trigger it. And so it takes me a bit by surprise. And now to get one of the most powerful charms in the game. Oh, didn't even realize. I thought that was going against something else. So much tankier than usual. All about timing them Shade Souls. Welcome back, Sam. Yeah, I typically go until like 1 in the morning, sometimes 2. I know with Terraria that I'd usually go pretty late. I think there's an explosive... yeah. Yeah, I mean, False Knight is optional, but if you want to go for 17%, you do need to kill him. Oh goodness, Path of Pain? Probably not. It's just more along the lines of, it's just going to be more annoying than anything. See, this is the way that you can beat him. Not like that, though. Because you can loop him. Oh, goodness. There we go, finally. It's gonna take a while. Fortunately, there we go. See, if you can get to the staggers, we can survive pretty easily. Because there's easy recovery. Up. Because what you want to do is be able to dream nail him. It's the most useful way if you have old nail. But Dreamwheeler is your best bet to actually do it. You just wait for him to do a jump, and then you can get him. Ideally, you have Abyss Shriek to make it even easier. Because if you have Abyss Shriek, then you're going to have an easier time of it. Up. Ah, well. That worked out. But yeah, if you don't have Dream Wielder, and you're doing them with just the old nail, you're gonna have a real pain. You see who that was. 2 cats in a box. Thank you for the sub. It's because of the soul binding from this. With Hellmod, it basically gives you a constant soul binding. Then I think it'll be an awkward set of questions for the night. Yeah, Veil Champion is probably the one that gave me the most trouble out of them. Because Soul Tyrant's not that difficult, but he has a lot of things that drags out the fight. Okay, I almost have enough for Dreamgate. Hey, G-Man B. I'm doing pretty good. Hell mod makes the game much harder by having a constant soul binding. You generate half the soul from a nail swing, so it takes 6 swings to be able to cast a spell or heal. Your healing speed is slower. You, besides the soul binding, you take double damage. You do half nail damage, and you can't upgrade your nail, so you're stuck with a 2 damage nail for the entire game. Oop. Yeah, once Soak Zone comes out, then I will definitely be playing it. Oh, okay, well, I mean, you're almost there, Gamer and Games. If you saw what I was doing with how you can loop him around by just staying at the opposite end of the room so he runs and jumps at you, you can use that to your advantage. Like, I was doing it so I could dream nail him without much trouble, but you could also do it to where you're just making nail swings or doing an Abyss Shriek or any kind of stuff. Uh-oh. Hey. Hey there. Just a moment. Aw. Okay, no promises that her desire for attention has been sated. Yep. It has been 3 hours. Oh, I realize Fluke Arm is not going to be the most ideal thing. It's going to be a spells thing, only thing. Alright, so I need to get soul for them for one more thing. So I have enough soul so I can beat Dung Defender and knock him out of the ground. Well, I mean, Flukemarm isn't the hardest boss, but she's definitely annoying, especially if you have a really weak nail. Plus, the other thing is, you're never quite sure when he's gonna burrow. It's a really fun fight, though. There we go. It's just you want to have the soul so you can always descend and dark that, just because you don't want them to be wasting time underground. Yeah, his theme is really good, and I love the fight. It's just a shame that it's not very difficult. I don't have enough soul to break the floor. Ah well, we'll have to come back at a later time. This will have to come back for White Defender at some point anyway. Favorite boss in Hollow Knight? Probably either Sisters of Battle or Pure Vessel. Just because they're a lot of fun. But again, I do like Dung Defender and White Defender's fight, even though neither of them are particularly hard. I mean, most of the bosses that have unique themes are really good. Excitement to Nightmare King Grimm. Being like, alright, let's do this. Oh, 5 hits to kill those. This is going to be... Luke Marm is going to be interesting. Worst boss? Ah, that's a good question. I don't know, really. I mean, one of the bosses are more throwaway that you don't really do much with. So, ones like Xero or Elder Who would probably work. Alright, well, you have a good night, Epic Luck. I will probably not be continuing for too much longer. Oh, jeez. Ah. Just trying to be tricky. I mean, probably for Dream Warriors, be like Markoth just because it is a lot of fun. It's a pretty straightforward fight. I mean, Midwife's No-Face's cousin. Well, you get used to Markoth as well. Green Path probably would be my favorite. Let me see who that was. Tiny Titan MC. Thank you for the sub. With my very weak nail, I should not be trying to push those guys into their big form. It's just a vat of Mountain Dew. Lane, I believe. Thank you for the sub. Radiant Markov isn't too bad, Aaron. A lot of it is just that you practice it, you get used to the thing, and then you get pretty consistent at it. Well, Geonix, I would point out, I have died so far on this one, so I'd point out that it's not like I'm doing incredibly amazing at Hell mod. Radiant Umu? One of the things that helps is to stay near the top of the screen when he's doing his attacks, because if he does the one that tracks you, you can always just slide down the wall, and by the time you reach the bottom platform, it should be over. And if he does the little preset electric attacks, they don't attack the top parts of the wall. Okay, let's see if we can do Hornet 2. Favorite Hollow Knight character? That is a good question. Probably Cornifer for the Hummin. The Hummin is just too amazing. Ah, this was not the place I wanted to go. I could have taken the upper path. I mean, favorite Coliseum fight would have to be the Trial of Fools. Yeah, if in Hell mod you can use quick focus to negate the slow heals. Electrix Ninja FPS. Thank you for the sub. Hardest enemy? I don't know. It's probably Mantis Petra, because I always hate those discs. I find the discs more annoying than Primal Aspids. I don't know, some folks, Dark Portal, have used like deep focus and quick focus for absolute radiance.
Bam. Finner.
That is a possibility as well. I think absolute radiance is probably the hardest one of what's available. But I mean, with enough practice, you'll be surprised at what you can do consistently. Most hated charms? I mean, most charms are pretty good. Most of the bad ones are situational, at best. But I mean, things like Stalwart Shell are probably more in the, like, I've never seriously used Stalwart Shell. Nope. Forgot about that. Plus side. Oh, jeez. Wow, I am just messing that up. One of those more annoying recovery things with Hellmod. Yeah, you have 1/3 of your bar. It's a constant soul binding, effectively. Let's just retreat into there. Heal up, and then make our way onward. Huh, wonder what happened to the big guy. According to the poorly translated journal, yes. Oh, goodness. Oh, this is bad. I'm being chased by everything. This is the other reason why Dreamwielder is so good for things like Hellmod. It solves your soul issues. At least as best you can. Goodness. Oh, geez. That was not the intention. There we go. When I beat the you mean all Radiant bosses and got the Void Idol? Or just when I beat the Pantheon of Hellenist? It would definitely make the early game a lot harder. Not impossible, but much, much harder than it really should be. Hellmod makes the game much harder by adding in a variety of penalties. Your nail does half damage, it can't be upgraded, so you're constantly stuck at 2 damage. You take double damage. Let's see. You do half the soul generation, so it takes 6 swings ordinarily to cast a spell or heal. Your healing speed is reduced. And a couple of other things, like constant soul binding and so forth. Basically, it just makes the game hell. Well, thank you. 1 second. Oh, hey, Noelle. Welcome. Jin, thank you for the sub. But my favorite character is Cornifer for the humming. As awesome as Quirrell is, he can't compete with Cornifer's humming. I'm assuming that he made a lot of buzzsaw noises in his head while installing them. Welcome, the battery. Alright, let's see how bad this goes. Oh. Like, Hornet, don't do that. That 1 a.m. thing is really starting to kick in. Well, thank you. Fortunately, I cannot see who it is at the moment. My apologies. Oh, what the? There we go. Oh, that was some pretty bad play with dodge and stuff. Sadly, you can't really heal so easily with all of that. It's a fun fight. It definitely makes an improvement over Hornet 1 for difficulty. Early on, Hornet 2 was one of those fights that I was really worried about. I'm a little more comfortable with it overall. But I still make dumb mistakes with it. Hey, Glossy Gamer. Hell mod basically gives a lot of penalties to your character. Your nail does half damage, can't be upgraded, so it's stuck at 2 damage for the entire game. Soul generation is halved. Let's see. You are stuck in a permanent soul binding, and you take double damage. Your healing is also slower. It's about the speed of deep focus normally. And if you equip deep focus, your healing's going to be even slower. Okay, that should be enough to do heals. Yeah, you'll take 4 damage against things that do normally 2 damage like the Radiance. So Hell mod is going to make your life a lot more difficult. Yeah. When I played Hell mod originally, the nail upgrades still worked. So you could still do reduced but reasonable amounts of damage. Unfortunately now, this is much, much worse. So pretty much a spell build is the only real viable path. No, not any of the Dreamers yet. I don't need the King's Idol that much. I think spells have a slight damage nerf, but nothing on the level of what nail arts get. Given that it's 1:30 in the morning, I don't think I'm going to do the trial, any of the trials yet. As much as I would love a charm notch. Ah, okay. Well, Room Rando is a lot of fun. I mean, little of column A, little of column B, Tatsuya. Alright, so now that at least that's opened up, I can get back there without much trouble. I should be able to get this gauntlet done. I am admittedly losing steam. Oh, jeez. There, so much easier with Shade Soul. Cornifer in Howling Cliffs, he's right outside of the dark room with Joni's Blessing. He's pretty much right below the way on to like Gorb and the like. Oh yeah, I can understand if it does come across as tedious doing hell mod. Descendant Dark is gotten from the crystallized mound in Crystal Peaks. Okay, where do I want to go? I think I want to try and do Lost Kin again for a rematch. Any boss? I'd play as Hornet, and then I'd play in a game called Silk Song. I mean, I have Don't Starve, I just haven't ever played it. I mean, I could probably play it at some point. I know that there's already a huge list of games that folks have suggested. And I still gotta finish up a Hat in Time. But I can certainly add it to my list of games. Oh, that sounds like it would be rather difficult to pay attention to the chat. Oh, that's the other reason I came down here, so I could get Shade Cloak. I know, Darkwood has also been recommended. It's on the list as well. Yeah, that is a good question as to what isn't on the list. Especially with the Steam sale, I did pick up a lot of the games that were recommended that happened to be on sale. At least if they were on sale at the moment. Tips on Pantheon of Halonest is try to make sure, if you can do bindings 1 by 1 or whatever works best for you, to be able to get going into it to where you could have the lifeblood between things. That's one of the things that work really well. Definitely Green Path, fruity snack. The aesthetics and the music were really good. Alright, time to mess up here once more. Oh, Fast Ghost this time. Also, getting some really lucky double hits. I think that was like a triple hit. Oh, goodness. Oh. I stopped paying attention. There we go. Yeah, Shaman Stone is very OP. If you don't use spells much, you really should, and you really should get Shaman Stone. You need the God Tuner. Least favorite NPC in Hollow Knight? That is a good question. I'm gonna go with Brum, because the only way that you really interact with them, or is it Nim, the one that shows up after you banish the troop? Banishing the troop is illegal in most countries. It's a war crime, and you have to put Grimchild down with a pistol. So yeah, he's the worst NPC. Also, he ruins Dirtmouth's theme. I mean, if you really want to cheese Steel Soul, there are a variety of ways. Save and quitting is one of them. Because I don't have any Twitch clips. I mean, you can do the Descend in Dark with it. It helps if you stay relatively close when he does that, when he does the dive and then the blob shootout. As that way, you have a safe spot that you can still smack him like 2 or 3 times. It depends, of course, as to how the ghosts are spawning. Because if the ghosts, you might have to stop attacking Lost Kin to deal with any ghosts. I technically have a Twitch, but all it got used for was to do Hollow Twitch. I haven't actually streamed anything on Twitch. Alright, Abyss Shriek. Yeah, I do have the Pale King skin. I'm gonna go with no gamer on games. Sim, it's over 1,300 hours at this point. Just trying various things, mods, and having fun with stuff. There's still things to try, challenge-wise, or just for fun. I'm surprised that I've stayed hooked this long. Oops. But it's still been a lot of fun. It just depends on what kind of video. Like with some of the easier challenges are the ones that I did originally. They would take anywhere from like 1 to 3 hours to figure out the stuff. Modded bosses can take significantly longer depending on how difficult it is. Plus, I can always do dumb things and make plenty of mistakes along the way. Oh, right, that's... These things are gonna largely be immortal. I think Mila should be in Smash. Yeah, I'm gonna get Shade Cloak and that's when I'm gonna end it. I mean, I didn't kill any of them, I just bounced off their head. I know that someone suggested a Sanic playthrough a long time ago, but I'm not really sure as to how effective that would be. I've upgraded the nail once, but it still does the same damage as the broken nail, so... I found out that this version of Hellmod does, in fact, have it to where your nail upgrades don't work. favorite character is Cornifer. Nope, unfortunately, you must complete the challenge to get the Pale King skin. I cannot give that out. I do apologize, but I have, as part of receiving the skin from completing the challenges, I have promised that I will not give it out. I would instead urge you to try one of the challenges and practice it and, you know, complete it, and then you'll be able to get the skin. Alright, once we get back to the bench at the hidden station, that's where we'll call it. After goofing up on Lost Kin 3 times, it's nice to at least have been able to beat him. And that's the downside. There's some things like this with Hell Mod that I'm kind of rusty with. It would definitely help if I had picked up more upgrades beforehand. But it's definitely a learning experience, because you can get the 7 masks by about the same time you go into the City of Tears, and that certainly would be a wise thing to do on Hell Mod. Alright, so this is a good stopping point. Alright folks, well, at this point I'm gonna stop, and then I'll probably continue this maybe next Saturday or maybe another day, because I do want to resume A Hat in Time next Saturday. But thank you everyone for coming. Oh, okay, well, thank you Gamer on Games. You have a wonderful night as well. Well, you mostly missed me de-rusting with Hellmod, Lihan. Well, thank you, Mrs. Queen, for the sub. I will make a note of Don't Starve. But nonetheless, thank you everyone for coming. Pretty much stay safe, stay healthy. You guys have a wonderful night, and hopefully see you Wednesday for more Hollow Twitch.